Hi, welcome to my game. It's called Intergalactic, which is a little dramatic, but it's like the only name I could think of. And so yeah, my game is pretty much what it is that it's like kind of like a dating sim mixed with like a shooter like type thing, like kind of how we did in the Circle Blast homework, kind of like that. Um, but it's more based around the dating sim aspect. Like I don't know if you know the game Doki Doki Literature Club, but that game was pretty big inspiration for most of this project. I wouldn't say like I tried to like copy it or anything, but the format, as you'll see, is kind of similar to how Doki Doki Literature Club is. Um, but yeah, the game pretty much focuses on the story, at least. It pretty much just focuses on three like escapees of an alien invasion, and you basically are on this mission to try to save them, and it's up to you who you want to save like the most, basically. And so the main feature of the game is called the love meter, which dynamically updates with all the choices that you make in the game. As you'll see in a second. And yeah, that kind of influences like the dialogue and the ending. I spent like a lot of time writing dialogue. Initially, I wanted it to be like two cycles of story and then minigame, and then story again, and then minigame again, so that it like dwindled down how many people were left each day, each like time. Like there's initially three, and then I wanted it to go down to two, and then you would have the ending at the last one after the minigame. But once I started writing all the dialogue, I realized that was a big task to try and do a whole nother loop of that. So I only did one, but I think it's still fine. I didn't like write three different endings. I only changed who says the ending based on who the highest loved is. But yeah, you'll see. This is kind of just my menu screen. It's kind of simple. I like this background that I did. I kind of took some inspiration from the particle demo, that one, where it was all flying and it moved around with the mouse. I didn't want that. I just wanted it to look like you were in space. So I just have the particles only going in one direction and they wrap along the screen. Some of them are big, some of them are small, some of them are slow, some of them are fast, and I kind of like it. It just like provides some ambiance to the game. Looks like you're in space and everything. Anyway, when you hit the info button, it shows up with some instructions on how to play and just like this basic story. And I have a key here, which is kind of interesting. Each character has their own color associated with them. So like if the player wants to go for a specific player, um, they would refer to this color key. I feel like I made it pretty obvious though. Like when I start playing, as you'll see, it's pretty obvious that the choices and all the collectibles in the mini games will affect that specific player. But just in case it's not clear enough, I have it here for the color key on the main screen. And so when I hit start, it starts the game. And I have this love meter over here, which just is a visual display of the each character's love meter. When we were doing our feedback, like peer reviews for the project, someone mentioned to me that it would be nice to see like a representation of love meters, and so that's kind of what I did over here. Um, yeah, I think it went pretty well. You'll see how it changes as time goes on. Anyway, but yeah, this is just the opening dialogue. I'm not sure why this is happening. This is not happening on live server. I have like an animation that wraps all the text like that. Like that one works. I don't know why the first line wasn't working, but on live server it works perfectly fine. Okay, well, I refreshed the page and it started working again. So sorry about that. But yeah, as I was saying before, I have this like animation here that wraps around like the text, and I have a function that determines the wrap width and inserts like line breaks depending on if it extends past the text box. And yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. That took me about like 2-ish or 3 hours to try and figure out and workshop with my idea. My first idea was to um just like HTML for this and then use like an animation in HTML or in CSS, but that seemed harder to do because can't I can't get it to not wrap and then also wrap when I want it to on a different line. So I just used PIXIJS and made a lot of complicated mess JavaScript. But yeah, this is again just opening dialogue. It's not very like interesting or anything. This is one of my roommates. Three of my roommates agreed to participate in my game because I didn't feel like making sprites or anything. I didn't really have much time to make art for the game. But yeah, they subbed in as the characters, thankfully, and here they are. Yeah, it's just dialogue. I don't know if you want to read it or not. I'll just skip it for now. So here we have the first choice, and like I said before, they're all color coded so you can see which character they would affect the most. So this one, for example, Atlas is color. So if you click this one, then the love meter for Atlas will go up like that. The other ones are also getting affected. Each choice has 3 different worth values to assign each character's love meter. Only caveat with that though is I have negative values in there, and for some reason PIXIJS, well, not for some reason, but PIXIJS can't draw like negative height. I wanted it to like have start here and then go downward for negative, but it just doesn't appear when you do that, or actually it just makes it positive by itself and then it would just go up. So what I did was if it's negative value, I just made it set to 0. So this character was increased by that decision by 0, and then this character was increased or was decreased by -5. But it doesn't look like that. It just looks like nothing changed. This character was increased by 10. And when you hit one of those, it then changes the dialogue of the story. I made it so that each choice has like different responses associated with them. So when you hit an option in a choice, then it inserts into the lines array that I have, controlling all of the dialogue that's being spoken into the screen. It inserts it at the beginning so that it plays when the user hits the next arrow. So I said I'm on it, and so here's all the dialogue following up that option. After all the dialogue that's like unique happens, then it just goes back to the other dialogue because it's pushed back further in the lines array. Here's the second choice. Initially I was gonna have 3 choices, but like I said before, the writing dialogue is a lot of work. So I kind of cut one of them. But here's the other option. I'm gonna hit the purple one this time, and as you can see, it decreased this guy's love meter and increased this guy's love meter. So that does work good. Okay, so this is the last line before the minigame starts. And basically what the minigame is that there's aliens that are invading, which is kind of like the point of the story. And there's aliens, you go out there, you gotta kill the aliens, you get a peep gun, and you just shoot them up. Pretty much. That's basically all the game is. I have collectibles that you can collect during the minigame. I couldn't figure out like a proper name for them, so they're just called collectibles, and they kind of have just like a coin texture right now, but they're also colored according to the character that they're associated with, so you can choose which collectibles ideally you want to grab to influence that character's love meter. My audio was kind of glitching at this part, so I'm just going to re-record it really quick. Basically, the minigame is pretty simple right now. Basically the aliens, they come towards you, and once they get off screen, they damage you. As you can see, they all have health bars and everything. The blue are all the collectibles are the coins right there, and you can choose which ones you want to pick up based on the color that they are, based on if you want to increase that person's love meter. So that blue coin over there, I think I just didn't collect it because I wasn't collecting the blue coins. And I tried to avoid that purple coin, but it was in the way, so yeah, you can kind of choose what you want to do so that you can have the ending that you want, was the main goal of the minigame. The bullets, they go in the trajectory that you point at, and the angle, and they rotate, so that was pretty cool. And then, so once you finish the minigame, here we are. You can see the highest loved is purple, and the ending is being played with the person you love the most. So here we are at the finish the minigame, and now it's playing the ending. It just added more lines to the lines array, which are the ending. Like I said, I was going to add 3 different endings, but I didn't feel like writing that much dialogue, so I just cut it and made it so that the person who loved the most says the ending. So here we are at the ending. It just says, "Congrats, you got the whoever the name of the character who's the highest loved is ending," and then you can go back to the start to restart the game. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna just go back to start. Brings us back to the menu. Can still go here and everything. And so I'll just start again, and it starts again as normal. Love meter is reset and everything. Minigame is also reset. I'm just gonna go through really quickly and show you just like a different ending. So yeah, as you can see, this time I was going for the green ending. I actually collected so much green that it extended. I don't think I've actually even seen this happen, but the height of it actually extended past the width or the height that I initially set, which is kind of funny. But I guess that's cool. But yeah, that's kind of basically the entire game. I really wanted to add more, but like I said, I didn't have much time to do the show. But I think definitely in the future, I want to continue working on this game, or like revamp it in some way, and try to make it a little better. I think I really like the idea and the concept so far, and I've enjoyed working on it. So yeah, that's mostly what the game is about. Hooray!